welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a cafe build, and it's part of my Make Willow Creek Beautiful project. Basically, I'm redoing the community lots, the houses, and adding in my own families into Willow Creek, just to make it my own, and hopefully it'll be a little extra something special when we're doing Let's Plays or creating Sims or anything like that. It'll all be from me, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I had a lot of fun with this build. It's going to be a industrial inspired build. If you don't know what industrial design is, it's basically if you think of like a warehouse or a lot of brick and metal and exposed pipes in the ceiling, that's basically what industrial design is. It pretty much favors function over the way that it looks, but in turn, it still looks kind of cool because it's very rustic and raw looking. And I think it's pretty big right now in interior design, especially since I moved to Nashville. I've seen a lot of it, not only in restaurants and cafes, but just in general, like in retail stores and other community lots, if you will. But yeah, so I've seen it quite a bit in many different contexts, and it's even really cool, like if you like the style and you put it in your home and implement it in your own home design or in your apartment. It's really cool. And I don't build a lot of industrial styled homes or community lots, so this was pretty fun and a little bit of a challenge for me, even though it's a pretty tiny build. But yeah, and I think last week was National Coffee Day, and I really wanted to upload this video on National Coffee Day, but I didn't get to, sad face. But yeah, so if you like this build, it is available on the gallery. My @ name is IrrelephantSims. So now we're going into the interior. I really wanted it to be kind of a open floor plan, so the main area where you would order your coffee is straight away in the middle, close to the front door, and then the rest of it is mostly just seating and some areas where you could just kind of chill and read and drink your coffee. So I liked it. And then I did have some changes to the actual structure because I felt like it was a little bit on the boring side because it was literally just a box. So I got rid of, well, I don't know if I got rid of the windows, but I did move them so that I could have little insets for the bookshelves. I've been doing that a lot lately. I don't know, I just really like it. I think it just adds a little bit of interest to the walls and the build itself. And then I also added a bar because I've seen a lot of that too in cafes where it's not just like regular seating or regular sofas. So I've seen like a lot of cafes have bars, so I did that in the back. I used one of the bar tables from Dine Out and a couple of those really awesome metal stools. So here I'm just adding the bathroom. I thought maybe like the warehouse, or maybe this is a little warehouse and it was bought by the owners and they just kind of added a bathroom. So the bathroom looks newer than the rest of it. So that's what I was kind of thinking when I was making it. And yeah, just adding the countertops and the mirrors. And I'm really excited about this whole project that I've been doing with Willow Creek. Because, I mean, I really love Windenburg, but Willow Creek kind of just has a special place in my heart. So I did a library recently, and that was fun. And then I also did a diner. I made a build for that, so if you haven't seen that yet, that's probably one of my favorite builds that I've done so far. And yeah, in the Goth family house, I'm starting a series about the Goth family. And then yesterday, I actually made a family, and they're gonna be somewhat rivals to the Goth family. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm gonna do a series with that family, and you guys will see a little bit more about them later. Here I was just adding that bar in the back, like I said. And then here, I actually saw this idea from another build that I saw in the gallery. Because at first I wanted to do maybe like booths in the corners, but I saw this idea and I thought it was so neat because I really like when actual places do this and they have two couches back to back, or even if the couch already comes like this. But I just thought it was really neat. It's pretty different than, just putting one couch or two chairs or something like that. So shout out to that simmer, that builder. I cannot remember their name right now, but I'll link them in the description below to thank them for that idea. Here, just adding a little corner table. I've always thought corner tables were very cozy because you can almost, sit away from whatever's going on behind you. And that's really what I wanted in this build. I wanted it to be very cozy because it's very small. So maybe it's like a local cafe. And then adding the bookshelves. There was one cafe in Dallas when I lived there. They had a few bookshelves of just free books that you can just borrow while you're there. So I thought that was nice because I love reading. I actually haven't read in a while, but I used to demolish books. Like I would get a new book and then I would read it in 3 days, no matter how long it was. I would stay up till like the ungodly hours of the night and just read. Oh, those are the days. I actually could pick up reading again, but I just don't know what to read. Like, I don't know. So if you guys have any suggestions on some good books that I might like, please leave a comment down below, and I would love to check those out because I really want to get into reading again. I think that would be awesome. And yeah, so I added this this wall here because since the bar, like where you would order, is centralized to the build, there wasn't really anywhere to put a menu. And I was like, okay, so I put that wall there. And I thought this menu was pretty perfect because a lot of times in industrial style cafes or restaurants, they'll have at least one chalkboard somewhere. So, yeah. And then these little areas where the bookshelves were, I felt like they were a little dark, so I added a wall light above them. And so this was kind of a cool discovery for me. This rug, if you put it under like the way that I have the couches, it looked like the rugs were connected, so it looked bigger than it was. So that was kind of neat. And then I was excited to use these industrial looking lights because I had never used them before. So just placing them around the build so it's a little more lit. And this area behind the menu wall, I thought it would be kind of cool to put a little seating area, just to make it a little more cozy and separated from the front of the build. I thought that was a nice area to just kind of read and relax. And then the floors, I don't know if you can tell or not, but the floors are that speckly concrete. I think that the now owners would have left the original flooring and the exterior. And yeah, so we're pretty much almost done. Just adding a few more things. Moving on to the outside, just adding some lighting on the outside, making sure everything looks good and lit up on the inside. This corner was a little dark, so I wanted to maybe add some lighting. And this corner was a little empty too, so I decided to put a little corner table in that area. But I wonder if that table would ever be filled because it's like right next to the bathroom. And I actually found the potted plant that fits perfectly there, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't have to add 3 plants together. At this point, I just noticed that the roof was a little messed up, so I went back and fixed that. And those are just half walls. And then they have the half wall trims, so that's what's on the roof there. And then back here, I wanted it to be a little more realistic, so just added a lamp there and some trash cans, some nice trees back here for when you're sitting at the bar, something nice to look at, and added back those trees on the side of the build. And I wanted to see if I could put some flowers in this pot to make it look a little more colorful. But anyways, guys, now we're going to get into screenshots soon. So I hope you enjoyed the build, and I also hope that you had an excellent weekend. Bye!